As the deadline approaches for the premiere of Snow White 2025, the Hollywood press is doing all it can to provide cover for what is almost assuredly a box office nightmare. Seeing no end to the punishing waves of controversy the film continues to endure, Disney seemingly has pulled every lever within their control to protect the live-action remake of its 1937 animated classic that originally ushered in the golden era for the over 100-year-old studio. Let's talk about Disney's controlled premiere for Snow White and the Hollywood Reporter's attempt to placate the mouse here on That Park Place. But speaking of who's not the best here.
Oh, Snow White.
Right, Rachel Zegler. Not the fairest of them all, that one. This by That Park Place, Disney scales back Snow White U.S. premiere. No traditional red carpet media interviews allowed. Yes, this actually, I remember Marvin writing this actually during the Pro Show at the time.
Oh, yeah.
This came out on March 11th right here.
Yeah, last night he was like going, bah.
Exactly. And this report actually goes off of a report from Variety originally. And apparently THR actually came out and confirmed some aspects of it. They're saying that the premiere wasn't scaled back, but the big thing is that they're getting their own gaggle of pre-selected media specifically for that event in Hollywood, actually, the El Capitan, interesting enough. Go ahead.
What THR confirmed is that it is, like, they said it wasn't being scaled back, but it is in fact being scaled back. They described a scaling back and likened it to the red carpet premiere of The Flash, which was done specifically to keep the press away from Ezra Miller, an accused criminal who was accused of burglary and kidnapping, and that's the same level of the same level is being applied here to Rachel Zegler, who has just stolen all of our patients.
Exactly. So this all is sourced from an article that was published yesterday inside Disney's Snow White Troubles. They need to get this over with. Who's actually saying that quote? Well, apparently it's an exhibitor. But as Marvin just mentioned right here, the precedent for all of this, yes, was The Flash. and for the reasons beautifully outlined by Marvin. But we all know what happened to that picture. Not good. But the Hollywood Reporter, that wasn't the only thing they reported. You see, here's what's interesting. If we actually scroll down right here, we'll see a little line about maybe some magical creatures that were photographed at one point. And I'm talking about, here we go. There were also erroneous reports regarding the Seven Dwarfs. From the outset, Webb, the director that is, intended for them to be CGI characters based on the 1937 film. Now, that's the only context they provide here. That's a weird line to have. And there's a reason why that line was included. This also by Marvin Montanaro. THR quickly edits comments about Snow White dwarfs controversy, reverses course to fit Disney's PR narrative. Oh, yes, folks.
The original headline on this one that I had was The Hollywood Reporter accidentally tells the truth about Snow White dwarfs controversy. But I decided to be a little bit more reserved in my journal.
No. I think you were too kind. You need to take a bite out of these Penske media idiots, because it's not like we didn't know. This was published in multiple articles all the way back in 2022 and 2023. I sent one to Pro last night. 2023, they were talking about the Seven Dirty Hippies.
There are literally pictures. There are literally pictures. And if you scroll down, there is a picture of the Seven Dirty Hippies.
Yeah, there you go.
And there he is. There it is right there.
Yeah. The Seven Dirty Hippies, indeed.
Seven Discord mods.
The 7 Discord mods. And this is what makes it weird, folks, because the original line in the Hollywood Reporter article originally said this. If we scroll down in this article, which is beautifully written, by the way, I'm not discounting Marvin's work here by scrolling down. Please read this for yourself, folks, on the website right now. But it originally said this, and this is a screenshot from this, which, by the way, we got to thank Jonas J. Campbell for creating a PDF archive of this specific article. The production likewise originally cast a diverse group of actors of various sizes and genders to play the Seven Dwarfs, which was met with uproar and mockery from purists when set photos leaked. The characters were then reworked with CGI to appear like the dwarves in the original film. So, like Marvin said, they accidentally told the truth here in this Hollywood Reporter article, and then, I think within hours, Marvin, they changed it to the new line.
You would know, Vash, because the only reason we have this information and we have this original quote was because you caught it. So, thank you very much for that. You were an essential part of this piece, and you're credited at the bottom of the article as well. But yes, they did say this and then almost immediately edited it out. Because, and to me, that reads as someone from Disney called and was like, "What are you doing? No, we've never made a mistake. Never, never, never. We're Disney. We never make mistakes. We have to rewrite history, and we use our shills in the Hollywood Access media to do it." But I mean, this is fun. We can continue to talk about this, but I hope we're also going to talk about the other thing that the Hollywood Access media is doing with this movie, because it's disgusting.
There's a lot of interesting things.
Are they showing it to children?
Yes, that's one of the things.
That's the whole problem right there. Disgusting.
Yeah, that's true right there. This has had no shortage of controversy. This definitely adds to that, unfortunately, because when people saw those on-set photos, it was like, okay, well, I'm out. Which is why they could quickly turn tail right there and reshot the film multiple times. See, the reshoots. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. If it was always meant to be CGI from the very beginning,
right?
Well, then that's incompetence on Disney's part, because those CGI abominations, the only explanation and excuse anyone has for them was it was an oh crap rush job to try to fix them up.
Very late in the game.
If you're saying that you've had this plan for years and they look like that, then shame on you.
That's it exactly, Marvin. And here's the thing: I have heard. There have been some out there who have said, "Oh, well, these are just bandits who happen to interact with the dwarves." You see, you don't understand what the story of this all is. And it's like, well, but that's not what's referenced here. What's referenced here is that they intended for these characters to be CGI from the onset. They could have easily said, "Oh, these were other characters that we cast for this film to play other roles," but they didn't do that here. Go ahead, Culture.
Well, no, I was just gonna say. So if these dirty hippies don't show up in the movie, it's a lie.
Exactly.
Okay? No dirty hippies. It's a lie. And second, maybe they're telling the truth. Maybe when they reshot the entire film, they intended for the CGI characters to be in that version. Because remember, this thing was supposed to be out a while ago, like a year ago.
It's true.
And again, I think the first time they were done shooting was in 2023. And I think the second time that they were done shooting was in 2024. So
Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen in this film, also called it home, by the way, when she was returning to this, which you don't really call a production home. It's something you do once and never come back to.
When she talked about her actual home, the mainstream media started to blame her for the movie failing. So...
Yeah, that narrative isn't working. They really desperately don't want it to be Rachel Zegler and her entitled bologna sausage to be the problem.
It's us and Gal Gadot.
Okay. Well, I think everybody knows who the problem is, and I'm sick and tired of Penske Media using all their Hollywood prop up tools, all three of the trade papers, to try to sell this narrative. Nobody's buying it. Who are they selling this to? The people in Hollywood know who the problem is. That we know who the problem is. Our audience knows who the problem is. Well,
that's the thing too. Nobody is buying into this culture. And I think the company knows that, which is why they might be scaling back at least their PR, publicity, marketing, advertising push for this, because maybe they don't want to throw good money after bad. As right here, one theater owner and a rival studio source says Disney's massive marketing machine has been uncharacteristically quiet until quite recently, noting advanced ticket sales didn't commence until Monday, less than 2 weeks before the film's release. Many of the studio's live-action family tentpoles in recent years have typically become available to book at least 1 month before the film begins or opens, including last year's Christmas, Mufasa the Lion King, and 2023's summer tentpole, The Little Mermaid. Snow White, however, is a spring title coming out during a particularly quiet year, meaning it has little competition of rival films for girls and older females. And it goes on to say from an exhibitor, quote, "They've been going through the motions on Snow White, all but saying, we need to get this over with. We have zero faith in this thing, and it couldn't come at a worse point. When the industry is just trying to limp along until May." They've already signed off or discounted this film, including the other portions of the slate, up until May. So exhibitors have lost faith in this thing. they believe that Disney has lost faith in this thing. The marketing machine just hasn't really been there, at least from what I can see. Now, Gal Gadot has had very specific appearances on specific talk shows, as noted in this article, actually. Rachel Zegler, she's doing stuff overseas. So they've lost confidence in Rachel Zegler herself, it would appear. And I don't know. I think this has got box office bomb written all over it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I mean, this is going to be the 100% bomb of bombs. I honestly think that the 48 million that they were predicting now might be optimistic.
Oh boy,
The more that they talk about this, man. And so now, like, what we're seeing also, and I'm trying to find actual, like, we have, we talked about it, I think, on Tuesday, but I pointed out that even at Disney Springs, they are only dedicating the Dolby Theater, one dine-in theater, and 2 regular screens on opening weekend for this film. Ron Bradley just showed me over at the theater that he goes to that they had 7 showings of Snow White listed for that weekend, and now they only have 4. They pulled 3 of them. Like, The Flash wasn't even doing this bad.
No.
The Marvels wasn't even doing this bad.
No. And you pointed out something to me, I think it was Tuesday, that we don't even know what the actual protests are going to look like, because this is actually a movie that could suffer protests from both sides of the equation.
From both sides of the situation. Yeah. But I mean, they are desperate to. You're not going to see. It's very clear now. You're not going to see a press junket. You're not going to see. Rachel Zegler sitting in a director's chair as the media cycles in and out. They are not going to give her an open mic.
No,
we've seen.
Nope.
Gal Gadot was on Good Morning America this week. So she's hitting the talk shows.
Well, she's the only one they can trust. She's media trained, and she doesn't get all emotional, right?
And she's the one the media is blaming.
She's the only person out there that can go out there and talk about the movie and redirect every question back to the movie. Rachel Zegler can't do that. She's going to answer what her dumb, silly thing comes to her head. And anyway, Vash, please tell me that not only is this going to flop, it's going to be the most embarrassing thing that Bob Iger's Disney has done in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yes, I think it will be the most embarrassing thing, because remember, Snow White is an unbelievable film in that it was, the first theatrical animated film. Some people dispute that, but really, this was the one that really set the animated industry on fire. Yeah. And it literally built the animation studio that Disney would go on to build for its animators up until they were kicked out of there, I think in the late 70s, early 80s, I believe. But and put in the studio in Glendale and then brought back to Burbank. It's a whole thing. But this literally built the studio. Okay, this literally put Disney on the map. And the fact that they can't get this right, oh man, I mean, this is really troubling for sure. And perhaps, maybe, the silver lining here is that maybe Disney stops with this live action stuff, but you do have Stitch on the way, which is a much better film. Guys, save your money. Stitch looks amazing. It looks great. They got Chris Sanders back. This Snow White film doesn't have any connection to the original, so why bother? Ken Reinhardt with $2. Snow White has always been at war with East Asia.
Yes, that's since the original 1937. Snow White was like, I'm wishing for the one I love, but also for Palestine today.
Today. Yeah, I remember that iconic line.
What?
It's subtext culture. You have to read between the lines.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But the one thing that we didn't point out here also, though, is that the media is blaming Gal Gadot for the controversy for this, trying to shift the blame off Rachel Zegler, right? Because all she did was stand up at the Anti-Defamation League and say, I'm Gal and I'm Jewish, and affirm her identity as a Jewish woman, and support her home country, which was at an ADL event, as opposed to Rachel Zegler, who started voicing her political opinions about the Middle Eastern conflict in posts that were directly promoting this movie. It is not an apples to apples situation, and it infuriated me. And Variety and The Hollywood Reporter both did it. And that means that it's marching orders that are coming from
This stuff irritates me, and and DL Fendel and many other people have pointed out that that this is being used. Hollywood is using everything as a political opportunity, and that's what's killing entertainment. I mean, seriously, it's not just, we talk about it in the terms of the writing and the lack of actual humor and things like that, because there's too many quote unquote sacred cows that you can't you can't gut. But at the same time, they use every way imaginable, whether it be in terrible writing to push, garbage, or doing this in promotion of a film. You are literally polluting entertainment with politics. You have to stop. It's just like, how do you not see what? Because we all talk about it. We've been talking about it for 5 years. It's been going on for 15. Let's be honest about that. But it's just that we talk about it nonstop, and the people in the audience probably, they get it too. So why can't they stop? Why can't they quit doing this? How is this not resonating with them that they are killing their industry? I don't know.
Well, maybe this might have something to do with it right here. This by Bucky Cat with $2. Stalin-esque. I mean, these people are very motivated, not by creative, but by something else. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's sad. Cohen Film $4.99. Really enjoyed the singing reviews of Snow White.
Me too.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
they're on spot. Yeah, they're on Spotify, and I like have them on a playlist, and I just play them back to back to back.
You wait. So you have a playlist of the chat music, Snow White things?
Magic mirror on the wall.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Oh, so good.
Disney flop of all.
I love it.
It's so good. That's where I got Snow White and the 7 Discord mods from. Stole it.
See, to me, they just like
not all original.
To me, they look like Reddit moderators, but it's fine.
That's terrible culture. Terrible.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.